Skepticism. General skepticism is the philosophical theory that we do not have any knowledge, and that we cannot be completely certain that any of our beliefs are true. Now, in everyday life, of course, people talk about skepticism in terms of doubting things, and that carries over from philosophical skepticism. However, the main difference is that when someone says, I'm skeptical about that, they're just expressing a general doubt about that particular thing. So if someone says, yeah, I've heard all these claims that 5G towers cause, COVID, but I'm skeptical about that. And that'd be a person expressing doubt about a particular thing. Philosophical skepticism is holding a general view towards things. Not that we can't, that we should doubt like a particular claim, but that we should have doubts in general. Now, skepticism comes in a wide variety, ranging from what we sometimes call local or moderate skepticism, not because it's local in the sense that somebody just down the street holds it, but in the sense that it's kind of limited, not very broad, and called moderate skepticism, kind of for obvious reasons, in that it is moderate. And so if someone is a local or moderate skeptic, they accept essentially two things. One is we can have mathematical and empirical knowledge. Logic, of course, would be in here as well. So if you'd ask the moderate skeptic, can you know 2 + 2 is 4? Can you know that a valid argument with all true premises must have a true conclusion? Can you know that the sun is a star? And the moderate skeptic would say, sure. Yeah, you can know all that math stuff and empirical stuff. Science is fine, math and logic are fine. So where does their doubt go? Well, their doubt is primarily about metaphysical knowledge, things beyond the mathematical and empirical. So if you were talking to a moderate skeptic and you said, what about angels or God? And they would most likely say, well, we can't know that kind of stuff because that's metaphysical. Now, skepticism can expand outward to global skepticism. Now, this is not the view that you should doubt the existence of globes. It's global in the sense that it's far-reaching. The global skeptic maintains almost universal doubt. So they embrace pretty much most of the skepticism. To be particular about it, specific about it, they would accept or perhaps reject the following. First, if you ask them, hey, can you know if there's an external world? They would say, no, I don't think we can know that. And if you ask them, can we know there are other minds? And they would say, no, I don't think we can know that. What about knowledge of metaphysical things like free will, God, souls, universals, that kind of stuff? And they would say, no, I don't think you can know that stuff. Now, what about mathematics, logic, like 2 + 2 being 4, that valid arguments with all true premises have a true conclusion, that triangles have 3 sides? They would say, yes, sure. Now, the main difference is that claims about math and logic tell you nothing about the world, typically taken on most interpretations. So knowing, for example, that triangles have 3 sides doesn't require that they be triangles. And whether you're dreaming or awake, squares would have 4 sides. You don't know if there's actually a square thing, but you would know that if there are squares, they have 4 sides. So the global skeptic pushes their skepticism up to the limits of math and logic. Now, that may seem about as far as someone could go, but of course, there's always more. So what about superglobal or extreme skepticism? Well, they take it not just one step beyond, but all the steps beyond. They maintain a universal doubt, universal being completely universal. So they accept, or rather reject, all that the global skeptic rejects. But they go beyond them by denying knowledge of mathematics or logic, So if you were to ask the super global skeptic, hey, what about math? What about, triangles having three sides? What about logic? They would say, don't know about that. And so extreme skepticism involves doubting everything. Now, they don't say that they know that we don't know, because that would go against their skepticism. Their claim is essentially that it seems like we don't know this stuff. Now, in addition to sort of the breadth of skepticism, there's also the matter of why people approach being skeptical. The methodological skeptic could adopt any of the other forms, but they do so as a means to another end. So their goal is not to achieve, skepticism, to try to establish that, skepticism, we don't think we can know stuff. What they're doing is using it as a tool to achieve some other goal. Somewhat ironically, the methodological skeptic is typically trying to refute skepticism. And Descartes is probably the best known example of this. There are also those who adopt skepticism to make room for faith, to try to show you can't prove God, you can't disprove God, but there is room for faith. So those are the basics of skepticism. So what are some particular historically famous skeptics? And what do we know, or rather, what do we not know about them?